by way of opening remarks, I just want to thank Senator Sinclair, who I think took the last two meetings and made some good progress with. It is necessary for us to recognize that the process that we are involved in, I've spoken to the committee clerk, Ms. Douglas Beckford, and we are starting to compile the decisions that we have made, and we are going to put them in a manner that they can be easily accessed in terms of color coding the decisions and so on, because it is important for us to complete our deliberations so that they can be put before the full Senate for approval. And I certainly would like to do this. We are in March, April, May, certainly by the end of May, and if necessary, go over into June, but certainly have to complete this and put before the Senate. It has to be done because we know the evidence is clear that once there is an intervening event, we tend to go back to square one. So we need to deal with these things and put them before the Senate. So I'm going to really ask for full cooperation so we can move and close off the deliberations, get the proposed amendments in a form that we can understand them, identify them clearly, and if necessary, have a weekend meeting so that we can finalize. So the minutes of the meeting held on February 28, 2025 were circulated. I take them as read. Senator Sinclair had chaired that meeting in my absence. Gale, Campbell, Morris, Motley, and Binns, all present, only myself and Sapphire. Senator Longmore were absent. Page 1. Page 2 dealt with matters arising and a proposal from Senator Sinclair that the review of proposed amendments to Standing Order 74, 8, and 76 be deferred, 66, I'm sorry, be deferred to this meeting, so that this meeting and the committee agreed. New business dealt with 75, matters relating to witnesses. So that's page 2. Page 3, continue the discussion of 75. Contributions from Fraser Binns, Senator Gale, Ms. Lowe, the clerk, Senator Scott Motley. Fraser Binns seemed to have been particularly interested in this provision. Welcome, Senator Sapphire. Well, thanks for coming. So that's page 3. And page 4, Chairman reiterated that his earlier point that there was slight distinction between 75.1, 75.2, 75.1. He, the chairman, agreed that 75.2 needed rewording for clarity and instructed Ms. Jimenez to review it and provide a suitable time frame that would satisfy the concerns of the members. He suggested that legal counsel also ensure that the proposed time frame would not conflict with any of the time frames in the Senate and House of Representatives Powers and Privilege Act, and added that the committee would continue to review this provision when the proposed rewording is available, and the members agreed. Those are the
On page one, it might be administrative.
Come again,
on page one.
One.
Yeah, it might be administrative, but just for clarity, I note that under also those present were some positions are still operating as acting, like the deputy clerk, assistant clerk, senior legislative counsel. It may have been administrative, you know, but I don't know. Maybe in your own time, Chairman, you can check on that.
Yeah, I will do that. I'll do that. Eh? Okay, I will inquire about this. Okay, so can I have a motion, Senator? Okay, good. Senator Gale, seconded by Senator Fraser-Binns. And so ordered. So two matters arising. I just indicated earlier that 74-8, Senator Scott Motley had a particular interest in that standing order, and I'm going to, consequent upon discussions that I had with Senator Sinclair, we'll leave this for the next meeting when hopefully Senator Scott Motley would be here, so that we have the other matter arising would be 75-2, that we had asked for a discussion or a submission from legal counsel. She's not here this morning because she has a difficulty. Maybe a bit late, but we can also defer that matter. And I would just proceed with, so 70, eh? Yeah, we just move on to 75-3.
Mr. Chair.
Senator Morris?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Before you proceed, I just wanted to.
Yeah, we are hearing you now.
I just wanted to your hearts. You're not hearing me?
Yes, we are hearing you.
You're not hearing me, Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir,
Okay.
we're hearing you.
So
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying that you made an opening comment in terms of your time frame, and I was saying that in light of the legal responsibilities of the Prime Minister, we know not what the time or hour he can opt for an election, and I notice you have skipped over April altogether and gone to the end of May, and I'm wondering if that is a clear indication that the committee can proceed with its work 2 months.
You see, you are a man of much vision, you know. So, so sometimes you see things where other people now see, you know. But put it this way, all I'm saying is that we need to get the work completed. And I've spoken to the committee clerk. What I want to do is put it together in a way, color-coded, so we can deal with it pretty quickly. And if necessary, we'll meet. But Go ahead, Senator Morris.
Of the standing orders we have.
I
was just asking how many other sections we have remaining.
Okay,
I think it's about 10 of them.
We're at 75 and we're looking at 82. We're looking at 85. So 10 of them, and then there are a number of matters that we need to just go back to where there was some further discussion and clarification that we had needed. But the clerk will identify those first.
So what I want to, yes, Mr. Chair, but what I want to suggest, you see, in the meantime, whilst we proceed with our work, I think the team, the support team from the parliament, need to start documenting uh, what has been completed, what is to be completed. So, put us in a position so that we can get the standing order to the Senate. Remember, we had also discussed the possibility of a day to review the work, and we would want that to be put in the matrix as well.
Yes, yes, Senator Morris, you're perfectly right, and that's what I was alluding to earlier, that we need to get it done. Mr. Jimenez, welcome. I'm going to give you a little time to catch your breath. So I'm going to just go on to 75-4, because you had undertaken to do something for us in relation to 75-2. Are you ready for us?
Pleasant morning, Chair and all members. The understanding that I had with regard to the review, I had the intention to do a comprehensive review because I'm currently drafting sections for the committee, that being starting from section 6, Standing Order 66 onward, that deals with committee. With regard to the witness section, I was just going to put that as part of my submission.
Okay, very good. So we will continue with 75-4 then.
Indeed.
Okay, good, thank you. So let me refer the committee to 75-4, which continues to say, the committee may at its discretion refuse to hear any irrelevant evidence. 75-3. Okay. Thank you, Senator. 75-3. The evidence of every witness shall be taken down verbatim and shall be sent in proof to the witness by the clerk of the committee. The witness shall be at liberty within 14 days by the clerk to the committee. Yes, the committee's clerk, in other words. Not so? The witness shall be at liberty within 14 days from that on which the proof was sent out to suggest corrections due to inaccurate reporting, and the evidence shall be printed with such of the corrections as may be approved by the chairman. So what this is saying is that once the proof is taken, it is sent to the witness for corrections, additions, etc. But those are the privilege, if you want to call it that, to correct, relates only to inaccuracies in reporting. So it's not the usual thing that says that you have the right to add, alter, subtract, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I wanted to say something.
Actually, just bringing attention to where you actually made that little correction, clerk to the committee. I think off actually works better, which is what you had actually initially said. I know it doesn't matter. It's just that when I've read it, I just wondered if there was a distinction between.
Well, I think that throughout the standing order,
right.
It refers to the clerk to the committee. Or the clerk to the houses.
Oh,
so it says
so
the clerk
to the houses. Okay, because I wasn't sure if there was a distinction between the clerk to the house clerk, versus to the committee.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
That's the lingua franca that's used. Yeah, Mr. Cohen.
Just on the point raised by the member, actually, it is actually something that we need to review, I would think, because if you look at 75-1, it speaks to clerk of the committee. So it's not necessarily consistent right throughout. So perhaps that's something that would need to be reviewed.
So we would change that then, where it says clerk, or we put clerk to the committee, because I think that's the correct phrase. The clerk of the committee work better?
generally clerk off.
Clerk out, not clerk to. Okay. So I had it the other way around. Thank you. And so any comment on the limited right to amend or correct a proof? Any comment on the right of a witness to correct the proof?
No,
Is that limited? Is that
it's
limited?
a limited. I agree with your comment in respect to that. It's very
That what?
limited.
That it should remain very
It should
limited?
remain as it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
No issue with 3 then?
And having regard to the fact that the committee hearings in any event would be recorded by the Hansard writer, right?
Yes.
With a shorthand writer.
Yes, so that is what is sent
Yeah.
to the witness,
Yeah.
who looks at it with a view to correcting inadequacies of reporting. So it's pretty
Yes.
restricted.
Yeah.
It's not the usual when a statement is taken in court matters that you are given the chance to add, alter, or correct.
That is correct.
And so we approve that subject to change to of. 4, the committee may at its discretion refuse to hear any irrelevant evidence or any recalcitrant witness. What do I mean by this, Senator Sinclair? What is the meaning of a recalcitrant witness?
Yes, Chairman, I'm saying like a stubborn witness or uncooperative. I don't know if in criminal law it's what you would call a hostile witness. I don't know. You Google it?
But I would imagine that it would. I would imagine that is a discretion. Well, it's there, but it's a discretion.
It's a discretion, yes.
I didn't think it was necessary to write it, but it's here, so you don't have to hear any irrelevant that go without saying. And if the individual is a recalcitrant, then you don't have to hear nothing from him neither. So that's kind of given. Yes. All right. I want to just get through. Yes. Yes, legal counsel.
Yes, before it is that if it is that subclause is accepted, before we move on to any other clauses, just dealing with the witness aspect of our standing orders, I've recognized in my drafting that there are some clauses that are not in our standing orders, and I'm not sure if it is that the committee would like for them to be inserted as part of our standing orders. These clauses would include the right to an advisor, a clause stating that the committee, whichever committee has called the witness, is in full control of his procedural affairs, how it is that it intends to carry out the hearing, that the witness is giving the evidence.
So you want a specific statement to the effect that the committee would be responsible for procedure.
For procedure.
Okay.
As well as permitting the right to the witness to an advisor. However,
Use the word advisor or counsel.
I'd use the word advisor because they might not opt to select an attorney at law, but their advisor may be someone who is specific or critical to the nature of the matter that they're called to provide evidence.
Where you put stroke, you put counsel stroke advisor then.
That could work.
Members? Senator Gale?
Yeah, I was just wondering if these insertions would be a specific clause outlining all of these into one.
We could go ahead and respond, but what I understand it is saying is that you would add 2 or 3 more clauses to it.
Indeed.
Oh, okay.
Right. So it wouldn't be one
It wouldn't be one.
clause, but it would be multiple clauses addressing these things.
Sorry, Fraser Means wanted to say something.
Certainly.
No, Chairman, thank legal counsel for that because I think those are some good suggestions. But just 2 things I'm observing. One, because you're going to be doing a full review of different sections, including the witness sections, perhaps if you could pen those recommendations for the additional clauses so we could consider, I think that would be more effective for us to consider seeing it in black and white. And one of the things that crossed my mind is whether we need to put some of those procedural things in the standing orders, or there should be like a guideline somewhere, so that when we are writing to the witness to inform them or to invite them to be witnesses, we can set out these things so that they are made aware of them. So they have a right to an advisor or counsel, whatever else it is that we agree to, we can then put it in the communication to them. But I think that it would perhaps be better it would be better for our discussion for you to present the recommendations to
I
us,
think
so
that's
we can
what she had
review.
intended. That's what she said she was going
Right,
to do.
yes. That's what I'm saying, yes, absolutely, Chairman.
Just before legal counsel responds, what I would say, as far as the notion of perhaps putting the procedure in a separate document, the mere fact that 4 goes into the granular notion of what the committee discretion to refuse or hear irrelevant evidence suggests that already here they are dealing with the detail of the, so I wouldn't have a difficulty putting it in here. Just before I get back to you, legal counsel, Senator Gale.
I was just supporting the idea that you would advance in having it in this document, because we tend to neglect other documents when we use this document. And if we need to say something now to the witness, we can always, in writing, refer to that particular clause as guideline.
Okay. Yes, that's legal counsel.
Well, let's start with the last point. I do take the contribution, and that would be prudent in the event that the committee, cumulatively, have determined that a separate document is necessary. As the standing order can refer to the document in the standing orders to say, whenever it is that we have these issues, we must be guided by this document, which may be found elsewhere. That may be an alternative solution in the event that the committee determines that a separate document may be necessary. But I am with you. It is better that we have the terms clear in one centralized space so that it prevents inconsistency and interpretation issues. So I would suggest as part of my draft to include those clauses, as well as, I think this part would be contemplated under the procedural aspect, but who may ask questions. So informing the witness when it is that you're summoned to appear, what exactly are you supposed to anticipate and who may ask questions? So I'd include that as part of the deliberations.
Yes, I would agree. Members, I would agree with that. There seems to be agreement, Senator Cynthia.
I'm not understanding when you say that as to who may ask questions.
She's dealing with the procedure.
Yes, I appreciate. Yeah. I understand that.
Go ahead,
As to who may ask questions, if the person, if the witness comes before the committee, then any member of the committee would be entitled to ask questions. Why are you saying who could ask questions?
It would really be a means of informing the witness what to expect. So procedurally, you must know that all the members of the committee that are summoned, any member of the committee may ask you questions.
You are entitled to counsel, advise, and just go. It's a procedural matter.
Right, it's just procedural.
In any event, the legal counsel will present it and we can look at it in detail.
And when you're, what I would suggest, when you're looking at that, the draft proposals that you intend to put forward, that you will do it in the context of what is contained in the Act, right?
Yes. And bearing in mind...
Because the Act seems to be very... When I say the Act, I am referring to the Senate and House of Representatives Power and Privileges Act.
Powers and Privileges.
That deals with that.
Right. And not only that, I would also bear in mind that the standing orders are constitutional regulations and, as such, ensure that nothing is done that is inconsistent with the terms of the Constitution or any other statutory regulation or statute.
Yes, so we look forward to that, Legal Counsel. Time is on us, but I want to just go through 76, which I don't think should be contentious. Subject to paragraph 2, 76.1, subject to paragraph 2, the proceedings of and the evidence taken before any select committee and any document presented to and the decisions of such a committee shall not be published by any member thereof or by any other person before the committee. Before the committee. Before the committee. It should be has, no? Not supposed to be has. Before the committee has presented their report to the Senate. Is have, don't? Phrase of means is has. Has. Yes, so that is obviously intended to restrict the, as it says here, the publication of evidence. But if this would be moot if the committee is public, no so? It does not have to be, no. So if it is not in camera, then this would not apply. So should we say so? Oh, okay. Yes, sorry. We'll have to go on to 2. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah, it says notwithstanding paragraph 1. So the paragraph 1, yeah. Notwithstanding paragraph 1, where a select committee is held in public, no complaint of privilege may be entertained on the ground that any proceedings, evidence, document, or decision referred to in paragraph 1 has, again, let them get this have from, sir. No, has been published. Eh? Professor Morris, this is your committee, have been published before being reported to the Senate. Come again? Proceedings, evidence, document, or decision refer to paragraph in 1 have been published. Is not, is has. It is has. But if the majority say have, so be it. All right, so those are pretty straightforward. So we cover 76, and God's willing, we will resume at 75. And Senator Scott Motley hopefully will be here so we can deal with 78-4. Okay? So thank you very much. This meeting of the Standing Orders Committee of the Senate for Friday the 14th, 2025 is adjourned for a date to be fixed. Thank you very much, members.
Your government cares about your education, and we don't want you to ever have to worry about going to university. The Student Loan Bureau has a loan for you so you can focus on your future. Jamaica improve, heart free, wages increase, housing scheme build up, we have more opportunities, roads build, and the dollar stable. We are building Jamaica. Jamaica's economy is in the best shape ever. Everybody a yard and abroad a talk about it. Your government is investing in our hospitals, parks, community clinics, roads, and water infrastructure. Every student attending Heart and STA Trust under the New Care Initiative will get $15,000 each month to help cover their travel expenses to the Heart School they're attending and get an extra $13,000 each week while they're training.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
No more guarantors for student loan. Your government cares about your education, and we don't want you to ever have to worry about going to university. The Students' Loan Bureau has a loan for you so you can focus on your future. Jamaicans, practice proper disposal of garbage, and if items can be reused, recycle them. We all have a part to play in protecting our environment from pollution. We are building Jamaica.
Tell me something. How much time you ever hear the government announce a project and wonder why they must spend millions on this and not on that? Well, if you think there's nothing you can do about how your money is spent, think again. Jamaica's budget is more than just numbers. It reveals our biggest problems and goals, our plans to fix them, and what to prioritize. We can even call it a promise book of what will be done to improve our lives. Now, let's talk about the 4 stages of the budget cycle so we can understand how it works and get involved. Stage 1, planning and review. The Ministry of Finance sends out a budget call to every ministry, which outlines the priorities and constraints to guide how those ministries prepare their budget. After ministries submit their drafts, the Finance Ministry reviews, compiles, and sends them to Cabinet for review and approval. Stage 2, parliamentary debate and approval. The Finance Minister tables all budget documents in the House of Representatives. The Standing Finance Committee, which is all 63 MPs, sits to examine the budget documents, and each minister presents their budget and answers concerns the committee has. The committee's report is then tabled in the House, followed by the estimated expenditure, which is tabled as legislation called the Appropriations Bill. That's right, the budget of Jamaica is law. The budget debate formally opens. We have presentations from the Minister of Finance, the Prime Minister, Opposition Leader, and the Shadow Finance Minister. After their presentations, our MPs vote for or against approval. Like all legislation, it goes to the Senate for their approval and then to the Governor General for his royal assent. No later than March 31st, end of the financial year. Stage 3, implementation. The new financial year begins and approved budgets are sent to ministries. Collecting taxes, borrowing loans, and receiving grants begin. And so does the spending. Stage 4, budget oversight. Now, this is where citizens don't need permission to get involved. Throughout the year, operations and spending are assessed by internal auditors and the Auditor General's department that makes sure public entities are compliant with laws and that their financial reports are accurate. All Auditor General reports are submitted to our Parliament's Public Accounts Committee for review and cross-examination of public officials. The Ministry of Finance
I saw you want to live. I walk and look over your shoulder. No sleep at night. I wonder if your family safe. Your mother, your brother, your sister, your youth them. And when you get catch, are you alone? But not there to help you. You have to talk for yourself a court. And then when you're gone behind the bars, them see you on their road. I live them life and I enjoy life. Gang violence don't make no sense. Leave gang violence alone. Let's work together and make Jamaica a safer and peaceful country. Let's all live good.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Heart and STA Trust now offers a $100,000 grant to heart-trained individuals running businesses for over a year. They'll also assist with business planning, marketing, skill enhancement, and other support. Your government is building a caring economy for you.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Motorists, as Minister of Justice, I appeal to you, obey the road code, pay your ticket on time, and only go to court if the ticket is being contested. Close to 80% of matters coming to the parish courts are for traffic breaches. Let's work together to make our roads safe and ease the burden on our courts.
Your safety and security continue to be our priority. We are seeing a downward trend in major crimes, and we are investing $650 million in technology improvement for our police force to provide greater coverage across Jamaica by 2028.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
A new story is being written for all Jamaicans. The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation is on a mission to transform lives. From increasing access to potable water, providing secure homes for the most vulnerable, and helping you own a piece of the rock. We're revitalizing communities and preserving our environment. We're making an impact. See the difference. Feel the difference. Building a better Jamaica for you and me.
You can feel it. Make JC.
Jamaicans, practice proper disposal of garbage, and if items can be reused, recycle them. We all have a part to play in protecting our environment from pollution. We are building Jamaica.
What if I told you that you own thousands of acres of land, more than 100 companies with over 100,000 employees and billions in the bank? Well, I have news for you.